I don't know what you think, but I always felt that the 1950s seems to have been a bit of an overlooked decade. Yes, the war had ended and people thought things would be much, much better. They were to a degree, at least we weren't at war. So various things happened. We had Elvis Presley, we had Buddy Holly, and various people. So this book turned up on my doorstep, about 12 months ago, and it's called The Best of Times, Growing Up in Britain in the 1950s. Look at that. It's a picture of that washing powder, Oxydol. Oh, dreadful stuff. Anyway, it's interesting, this, because it covers all those things you'd forgotten about, like spangles. There's a nice forward there. Remember images like this, sitting in front of a fireplace that's tiled, and your mum reading a book. Lots and lots of bits from adverts, from the television. Look, remember that? When you were going to a corner shop and an elderly lady sorting your sweets out, because you only had a very minimal amount of money you could spend on sweets. Mind you, I was born in 1954, so I didn't really enjoy the 50s, probably, or appreciate it as much as I would have maybe if I were a bit older. Let's see. Woman magazine. Very stylised there, isn't it? There's loads and loads of pictures in this. Here's an advert for a bike. Curry's. You could buy a bike from Curry's. I never knew they did things like that back in the day. And Baco. I used to go to a neighbour when I was very small, if my mum had to go out somewhere or other. And I used to stay with this Mrs. Timms, and her son, Kenny Timms, he had a Baco set. And I can remember, this was before, well, to me, I'd never seen a Lego. And I spent hours and hours and hours building a house out of the rods and little plastic bits and bobs in it. It was fascinating, Baco. I think somebody's making it again now. Lots of memories, people's memories from the 50s. Schweppes Days to Christmas. It's a wonderful book, this. You make new friends at Butlins. I've only ever been to Butlins for a day, and my wife twisted her ankle, and that kind of put her off for good. I think we had a day ticket, and we thought, well, we'll go and have a look, see what it's like. And this was up in Scotland, in Ayr, I think. Magic Moments. And it goes on and on and on. Lots of things that people have put in. Choo Chin Chow on ice, amazingly. Anyway, we went to Butlins this one day in Ayr, and most of the rides were closed down. I don't know why. I think it was for servicing or something like that. So the only thing we could go on was my daughter and I. She was quite small at the time. Neither of us liked things like that. And we went on this thing. It was supposed to be a ghost ride. It wasn't a ghost train. It went round and round and round in pitch dark, and my daughter was screaming, and I was going, oh, like that. We were glad to come off this anyway. But still, 1950s, lots of memories, music on the radio anyway, lino on the floor, and we didn't have a television, a black and white. Well, black and white. Everybody had black and white then. A black and white television in 1958 or 1959, and it was the old scenario, with the aerial on top. It's before we had an outside aerial, and I was the one that used to have the job of moving it around to try and get a decent picture. You see. I was under instruction from my father. Yes, that's it. Hold it right there. Well, you couldn't stand there all evening, could you? While the television programme was on, you couldn't see because you were in another part of the room holding the aerial. Anyway, I wonder if you'd like to share some of your 1950s memories. What do you remember particularly about that decade? Bye for now. Thanks for watching.